Heavy rain during the morning commute makes today a WRAL weather alert day. The chance for storms this afternoon and why today will be the coolest since early June.
Tower tipped over. Electricity is down for much of a Harnett County town after a crash damaged an electrical tower. The challenges crews are facing as they try to fix the problem this morning.
Emergency repairs needed. 3 elementary schools in Wake County are facing issues that may make it unsafe to bring students back. The work that needs to be done to make sure that those classrooms are safe. We are following those stories and more. WRAL News at 8 starts in 30 seconds.
Now be careful with Hardee's new hot honey. You'll get lost in that made-from-scratch hot honey chicken biscuit. Right now, get the hot honey chicken biscuit or any chicken biscuit for just $3.99. Only at Hardee's.
What's up, Bubba?
Hey, Brad.
Did we win something?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Partner with some chicken.
Yeah.
Right now on the app, My Rewards members get the Bubba Wallace Full Throttle Tenders Meal with a collectible Hardee's card.
Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
Good morning, everyone. It's 8 a.m. here on your Monday. Thanks so much for joining us on Fox 50. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. Boy, we're waking up to a cloudy, gloomy morning, but we're still getting some much-needed rain. Let's get over to meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
Yeah, this rain for the most part has been much needed. In some poor drainage areas, you get some signs of flooding. This was sent to us within the last few minutes from Kyle in Lewisburg. This is on Highway 98 there, and you can see how some of those poor drainage areas are starting to flood over onto the road. We saw that on a low water crossing last night. This is video out of Smithfield where there was a brief road closure and a spot that does tend to flood fairly often. But there you see the reflecting lights indicating that the road was closed at one point. That is not an issue so far this morning. As we give you a live look at Lewisburg, and you can see the rain falling pretty steadily outside the Franklin County Courthouse. Right now, that flood advisory for areas like Lewisburg is in effect until 8:45, although the rain right now is falling a lot more lightly than it was just a couple hours ago. Light rain continues on the north side of Raleigh, heading toward North Hills. Chapel Hill dealing with some light rain, this mostly fizzling out as it moves from south to north. In fact, we did have some showers earlier in the morning around Sanford. Nothing doing in the Sandhills for the time being, with just some scattered showers and thunderstorms moving slowly from north to south late this afternoon into the evening. But temperatures only reach the upper 70s. It's been a while since we've been that cool. I'll show you how long it's been and why we're heading back into the upper 90s later this week. Ken?
And Chris, at 8:02, checking the morning commute. Here's a live look at I-40 at Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes moving in away from us this morning. A little bit of congestion on that southern loop of the Beltline, just a 3-minute delay. Also, if you're navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue, you're looking at a 3-minute delay between Wade Avenue and I-540, I should say. No delays whatsoever if you're coming in from the Garner-Johnston County area between Highway 36 and the Beltline. Here's a live look at I-87 and Smithfield Road. The southbound lanes are coming toward us this morning and flowing at a nice steady clip. Right now, you're just picking up a 1-minute delay coming in from Nightdale, a 4-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest this morning. We are picking up some delays around Highway 55, Williams Road, if you will, coming in out of Apex. You're looking at a 6-minute delay coming in. So keep that in mind as you plot out your morning commute. Similarly, we're picking up very little to no delays in those major routes heading into Durham, short of a 1-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest on Highway 98. You're getting ready to head into the Cartoonist Center on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Okay, Ken, thank you. A man is hurt and another is in police custody after an early morning shooting in downtown Raleigh. The WRAL breaking news tracker was near the Moore Square bus station. That happened just after 2:30 this morning. Police say the man who was shot is expected to recover. And a crash overnight left a car on its side in Raleigh. This happened at around 2 a.m. on Glenwood Avenue near Wills Forest Road. Raleigh police say the driver crashed into a tree and the car flipped onto its side. The road was closed as officers investigated. Right now, we're working to learn whether anyone was hurt. Hundreds of homes in southeast Raleigh, meanwhile, are without power this morning. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on the scene here on New Bern Avenue at Raleigh Boulevard at around 3 this morning. The road was dark, as you can see, and those traffic lights were out. Duke Energy's outage map says that this was caused by fallen tree limbs. We'll continue tracking the progress there. More breaking news to get to this morning. A transmission tower was damaged overnight in Harnett County, leaving more than 1,000 customers without power.
Yeah, let's get to WRAL's Ali Catlabar live on Red Church Road in Irwin with the WRAL breaking news track. And Ali, crews are having a difficult time bringing this transmission tower back online.
Yeah, Ken, there was a mechanical failure that caused them to not be able to turn off the lines. It looks like they might have fixed that issue because we are seeing crews working on some of the lines over here. We can see, I'm not sure what they're trying to do. We are working to find out, but this is all part of this process to fix this transmission tower. We can see it is leaning. We do know from Duke Energy crews that a car crashed into the tower around 9 last night. Irwin police say that that driver was not hurt. Now, we can see that they are, again, trying to restore power, trying to fix this transmission tower. They did say that they are going to have to take it down and then replace it with a temporary power pole. Now, we do know more than 1,000 Duke Energy customers in Irwin and Dunn are without power. That estimated restoration time says around 10:45 this morning. So we, of course, are working on finding an update about that. We're keeping you updated. Reporting live in Harnett County, Ali Catlabar, WRAL News.
Ali, thank you. Raleigh police are investigating reports of shots fired at an apartment complex. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker at around midnight at Litchford Apartments. That's near Litchford Road and Old Wake Forest Road. You can see several police cars and evidence markers in that parking lot. Police say nobody was hurt and 1 arrest have been made. A man was shot in Durham last night. This was that scene at Avon Crossings Apartments just before 11 last night. This is just off of Martin Luther King Jr. Parkway. Police say no arrests have been made. We don't have any word yet on the victim's condition. Well, emergency crews in Johnston County rescued 4 people in kayaks from the Neuse River last night. The Wilson's Mill fire chief says that the kayakers were trying to get from the fire department road to Smithfield, but they got caught in severe weather. We're talking about this family of 4 that was found about a half mile from where they started. No one was hurt.
Well, this morning, questions about structural deficiencies at 3 Wake County elementary schools. This could force the start of the school year to be delayed for those students. Let's bring in WRAL's Kelsey Coffey. She's live outside Davis Drive Elementary in Cary this morning. Kelsey, the school board looking to take emergency action on this issue.
Yes, Chris, or rather, yes, Ken, that's exactly what school leaders are looking at doing this morning. Wake school leaders will discuss what's next for 3 different elementary schools. Engineers found problems with the connections between walls and other parts of the building at Creech Road Elementary, according to a letter that was sent out to parents. Durant Road and Davis Drive Elementary schools have the same building plan, and the most urgent issues are at Durant Road. Those students are scheduled to return to class within the next 2 weeks. Multiple Durant Road staff members who declined to go on camera tell WRAL the building has had consistent leaks, roofing problems, and HVAC issues for years. WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst says these structural problems create concerns about a delayed start to the school year.
We don't know exactly how long it's going to take. We don't have cost estimates or anything available to us yet. We've asked for that information, so it's unclear so far if there could be further delays beyond the normal start of the school year for any of these schools, but we have asked if that's possible.
And we'll keep you updated on what happens as school leaders will meet in that emergency meeting this morning at 10 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Kelsey, thank you. Let's take a live look now at Capitol Hill this morning, where flags will be flying at half-staff today. This is in honor of United States Senator Lindsey Graham. The senator from South Carolina died Saturday evening shortly after returning from a trip to Ukraine. The medical examiner says a preliminary finding shows the 71-year-old died after his aorta ruptured because of hardened arteries. He was elected to the Senate more than 20 years ago. He was a key figure in the Republican Party and one of President Trump's closest allies.
Well, WRAL state government reporter Caroline Yaffa covered Senator Graham extensively in her previous role as a political reporter in South Carolina. Caroline tells us Graham traveled extensively across South Carolina, engaging with constituents and championing agricultural policies. She also says he was both friendly with and accessible to reporters, even when they were asking tough questions.
The last time I actually saw him and interviewed him was in October of 2025, which was less than a year ago. Every time I met him and saw him, I could feel his love for the state and for policies in general. And his staff was amazing to work with as well. I texted one of them this morning. We were in communication, just expressing my condolences for their loss. I know it was sudden and hard for them, I imagine. And they responded to me saying thank you and that they will reach out if they need anything. It's crazy.
You can watch our full interview with Caroline on the WRAL YouTube page. Now, reaction to Graham's passing is pouring in from around the globe, including Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, as well as President Trump and Senator Graham's colleagues in Congress. You can watch those interviews on WRAL's YouTube page as well.
Your time now, 8:10. Bison attack. A man is in the hospital after this incident at Yellowstone National Park. Well, park officials are warning people after a similar attack happened just a month ago.
Also escaping the flames, firefighters in Brunswick County trying to contain a large wildfire. However, Moore County women managed to get out of that area safely.
Hoping that they can get in on some rain down towards Charlotte. Meanwhile, here at home, scattered showers and storms once again a part of the forecast, but I'll show you specifically where we see that chance coming up in less than 10 minutes. (8:14), and we'll give you a live look at Lewisburg, where it continues to rain pretty steadily, something that I've seen pretty much since I got into the office this morning at 2 o'clock. So yeah, for the past 6 hours or so, raining pretty heavily too, but now it's starting to lighten up within that flood advisory area that includes places like Lewisburg. Just some light rain around Chapel Hill, heading farther east south of Durham, and you've got some showers around Oxford and Henderson. Nothing that's causing any major issues. In fact, will likely cancel the weather alert day that's been in effect this morning. Most showers now are north of US 64, north of I-40. They'll gradually move from north to south heading into the afternoon. But temperatures, look at that, only reaching the upper 70s. I'll show you how long it's been since we've had a day like this. Coming up, Ken.
I'm Chris. Weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Traffic really beginning to pick up on that northern loop of the Beltline, I-440 Ridge Road. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning as we widen out the view. Right now, the bulk of the congestion on that northern loop of the Beltline is between Capitol Boulevard and the I-440 87 interchange. You're just looking at a 4-minute delay. About 10 minutes ago, I mentioned some delays coming in out of Apex around Highway 55. Right now, you're looking at a 4-minute delay. So keep that in mind as you plot your morning commute moving forward.
Ken, thank you. The United States has completed a new round of strikes on Iran. U.S. Central Command says these offensive strikes were aimed at dozens of targets at multiple locations. Now, this is video that the military has released overnight from those strikes yesterday. Officials say the purpose was to degrade Iran's ability to attack ships in the Strait of Hormuz. This comes after the two sides exchanged heavy missile and drone attacks over the weekend. Iran says it has closed the Strait of Hormuz again and is launching attacks against U.S. facilities in the Gulf region. Meanwhile, oil prices surged over the weekend, which means gas prices could soon follow. U.S. and Brent crude prices went up 3% and 4%, respectively. Gas prices have gone down in recent weeks, but is still up from when the wars first started back in February. So let's take a look at where things stand here in our area right now. According to AAA, the average for a gallon of gas in Raleigh is $3.61. In Durham and in the Chapel Hill area as well, it's $3.60. And in Fayetteville, it's $3.56.
Let's take a look at this. A grandfather is in the hospital after he was charged and hit by bison in Yellowstone Park. You see the video behind me. You can see that terrifying moment when that bison lifted that grandfather into the air. Boy, that video is hard to watch. The bison hit that man, boy, sending him flying several feet. He needed surgery and is still in the hospital. This is the second incident involving a bison in recent months. A 12-year-old was hurt back in June. Now, the National Park Service says you should always stay more than 25 yards away from bisons and run if one charges.
Senator Mitch McConnell has broken the silence over his health. He says he is recovering from a fall and case of pneumonia. McConnell posted this photo yesterday of him at a hospital with his wife. He says he was taken to the hospital last month after a fall and that doctors say he did not suffer a heart attack. He says that he is in rehabilitation center and is undergoing more tests to find out what caused the fall. He says he is continuing to work on standard business with his staff.
Well, business and financial network CNBC says North Carolina is the second best state to do business. The Tar Heel state got the nod in the latest edition of the network's influential annual rankings. Ohio passed North Carolina, though, taking the overall crown this year. But North Carolina claimed the top spot in one key indicator, the economy. Gerald Cohen is chief economist at UNC's Keenan Institute of Private Enterprise. He says one of the state's strengths remains an educated, skilled workforce, but he also says affordability is a growing challenge for many North Carolinians.
When builders are building these days, they're building more high-end housing. So that's a challenge that policymakers really need to think about. You don't want your teachers commuting for an hour. You don't want your police officers or your EMTs to commute really far. So building those types of communities, that's a challenge.
North Carolina set a record for job creation last year as companies promised to bring nearly 34,000 jobs to the state. Companies also promised more than $23 billion in new investments last year.
Firefighters in Brunswick County are now working to put out a raging wildfire. County officials say the fire that's burned nearly 300 acres and is now 50% contained. WRAL spoke with Linda Dunlap over the weekend. She lives in Moore County, but she also has a house in this area, and that's where she and a friend were on Friday. They noticed neighbors evacuating their homes as the fire reached the edge of their neighborhood. They drove about 35 miles away to Whiteville and spent the night there. They got up early the next morning to head back to what was left of her home.
The traffic circle was on fire that morning. The pine trees to the right of us, right on the road, up 100, 200 feet on fire.
How were you feeling in that moment?
Devastated. I never expected to have to deal with a wildfire.
Dunlap says her neighborhood and the tight-knit community of people that live there were saved in part by the direction of the wind. She thanks the North Carolina Forest Service and all of the fire departments that responded.
The Calabash Fire Department is recognizing a firefighter named William for his quick actions during that wildfire. As conditions worsened, William stepped in to help people.
Well, happening now here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, checking in with meteorologist Chris Michaels. Chris, it's a gloomy start to our Monday morning here.
Definitely, and some nice relief from the heat. I know folks in Charlotte could use that in Wilmington, where they had triple-digit heat.
My goodness.
At least for a brief moment in time, we get to enjoy that. So,
yes,
yeah.
a little relief.
Exactly, yeah. And some nice rain to see in Pittsburgh. It's falling nice and lightly so far in Chatham County. And for the most part, we're not tracking any downpours. Now, early in the morning, we were, and that's what led to a flood advisory in parts of Franklin County from Lewisburg down toward Bunn. Aside from that, Enfield, Scotland Neck, Dorchester, Red Oak, just looking at some light and steady rain. Nothing that's going to go causing any major issues. And in fact, any showers from Chapel Hill east toward Raleigh are very, very light. So again, no major issues out the door so far this morning. We've got this front off toward the south, and as it continues to sag south, you'll see the moisture associated with it come from north to south as well. So we're just looking at a few isolated showers for the lunch break as we get closer to about 3 p.m. Showers and storms will still be pretty scattered, but you see the tendency for them to be, number one, in the foothills in Piedmont, but number two, moving from north to south. So dinner time, still going to have some scattered showers out there, maybe some rumbles of thunder, but as we get closer to midnight, those storms are really going to congeal closer to the South Carolina border. So tonight will be a quieter night than what we saw last night. Maybe heading out to Dix Park for the sunflower field. I mean, hey, on a gloomy day like today, the nice contrast between the two should make for some good photos, and at least it's not going to be scorching hot. Today we're looking at temperatures in the upper 70s. Here's your 7-day forecast. Upper 80s for tomorrow after starting in the 60s. We're back in the low to mid 90s by Wednesday. Now, as we head later in the week, that's when the heat starts to make a comeback and in a big way. You're in the upper 90s Thursday and Friday. Some scattered storms will be possible each day this weekend, but prior to those, it is going to be hot. Temperatures in the mid-90s each day. Ken?
All right, Chris, happening now. If you're getting ready to head out the door, grab those car keys. It's the southern loop of the Beltline, part of your morning commute, I-40, Lake Wheeler Road. This is what it looks like, those westbound lanes. The usual congestion we see this time of the morning, but really and truly, we're just picking up a 2-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. If you're coming in from the Garner, Johnston County area, no delays between Highway 36 and the Beltline, so that's really good news there. The northern loop of the Beltline, here's a live look at I-440 at Ridge Road. You can see the westbound lanes moving away from us, moving at a nice steady clips as we widen out the view of that northern section of the Beltline. We can see the bulk of the congestion really is between Capitol Boulevard and the New Bern Avenue interchange, but really and truly, once you get past Capitol Boulevard, it's clear sailing all the way over to Wade Avenue, just a 4-minute delay. So in terms of other routes heading into the Raleigh-Wake County area, we're picking up a 4-minute delay coming in on US 1 North coming in from Wake Forest. Now, if you're coming in from Apex, we're picking up a little bit of delay coming in around Williams Road, Highway 55. Just a 4-minute delay coming in, but all the other major routes, I-40 eastbound, I-87 coming in out of Nightdale, just a 1-minute delay at this hour.
Coming up, listening on the go. 5 on your side is testing portable speakers meant to withstand splashes, sand, and travel. We have a look at the top picks that won't break the bank. And if you see breaking news or have a story tip or take video or pictures of the weather, report it to us at WRAL.com/reported.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up-to-the-minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning, everyone. The time now is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine here on your Monday. Let's get right over to meteorologist Chris Michaels tracking a system on the radar there, Chris.
And you know, within the last minute, literally, the flood advisory that was in effect for Franklin and Nash counties, that was canceled early. That just came in from the National Weather Service in Raleigh. I mean, still some light rain falling throughout much of Nash County, parts of Edgecombe County, around Enfield, Scotland Neck. That's about it, though. Franklinton starting out again with some light rain, nothing that we can't handle, and any little bit of floodwater starting to recede in parts of Franklin County. We'll see rain chances receding a little bit before scattered storms return this afternoon. We'll show you the latest futurecast on Fox 50. Ken?
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, we're picking up some congestion on I-40 westbound between Wade Avenue and I-540. You can see what I'm talking about, the bumper-to-bumper traffic there. Simply, things are beginning to thin out on that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 Lake Wheeler Road. You can see the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. So here's what it looks like. That's a 4-minute delay I just showed you of that I-40 westbound area, but that southern loop of the Beltline, just a 1-minute delay at this hour. Another update on your morning commute at the bottom of the hour.
Hundreds of people in Harnett County do not have power this morning after a transmission tower was damaged. It happened on Red Church Road in Irwin. Duke Energy says that this was caused by a car crash. Crews say power may not be restored until around 11 o'clock this morning. Well, a man is hurt and another is in police custody after an early morning shooting in downtown Raleigh. The WRAL breaking news tracker was near the Moore Square bus station just after 2:30 a.m. Police say the man who was shot is expected to be okay. Next on Fox 50 now, 3 Wake County elementary schools are in need of emergency repairs before the fall. And coming up today,
heavy rain during the morning commute makes today a WRAL Weather Alert Day. The chance for storms this afternoon and why today will be the coolest since early June.
Tower tipped over. Electricity is down for much of a Harnett County town after a crash damaged an electrical tower. The challenges crews are facing as they try to fix the problem this morning.
emergency repairs needed. 3 elementary schools in Wake County are facing issues that may make it unsafe to bring students back. The work that needs to be done to make sure that those classrooms are safe.
Lots to get to here in this half hour at 8:30. Thanks for being with us. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Laura Levine. Yes, we are following a lot, including the aftermath of the overnight storms, power outage this morning, and we still have the lingering effect here. Meteorologist Chris Michaels tracking just a couple of showers there on the radar right now, Chris.
Yeah, and thankfully within the last couple of minutes, the flood advisory that was in effect for Franklin and Nash counties was canceled just because of the rain now falling more lightly and any kind of river or levels starting to recede. So at least some good news there. Hey, in Smithfield last night, you were talking about the aftermath of some of the showers and storms. This is what was going on overnight. We had a crew on scene of this one low water crossing that was closed at one point in time. Smithfield picking up several inches of rain. Let's bring you back toward areas like Smithfield and the Triangle, where rain is falling ever so lightly. You see that in Chapel Hill, Carrboro, moving up toward Hillsborough, moving up toward Durham. Just a little bit of a gloomy start to your Monday morning. And as we back up the view, you can see the overall trend has been for showers to gradually start dissipating, and they're falling pretty lightly. The heaviest stuff is really toward the both the inner and the outer banks so far this morning. So here's the latest trends. Just pockets of light rain for the morning, scattered storms into the afternoon. These would gradually shift from north to south, and eventually as we head into the overnight hours, they'd be pretty much completely south of the area. So through the early afternoon, we see more of a limited coverage to our showers and storms. It may pick up a little bit as you get closer to dinner time, mostly near and to the south of I-40. And then as we settle into the night, it'll be a much quieter night than what we had last night. Ken, I don't know about you, but I got woken up a few times by the storms.
Oh, listen, and then that was my alarm, to tell you the truth. So you get ready to head out the door. Here's a live look at I-40 at Harrison Avenue. We're picking up some heavy congestion in those westbound lanes between Wade Avenue and I-540 heading towards Durham this morning. And the southern loop of the Beltline, things have really thinned out on I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. That southern loop of the Beltline right now, we're just picking up a 1 minute delay. So I just showed you that congestion we're picking up on I-40 westbound. Right now, you're picking up an 8-minute delay on that area. So keep that in mind as you plot out your morning commute heading out this morning, particularly if you're heading west to the Durham area. You might want to use Highway 70 as an alternate route. Here's a look at that northern loop of the Beltline. Things are a lot better. Just a heavy congestion around the Capitol Boulevard exit, but we're looking at just a 4-minute delay at this hour. So as we widen out the view, some other routes coming in. There's that red you're showing in that westbound lanes. We're also picking up some heavy delays coming in east on I-40 westbound around eastbound around Aviation Parkway. A 3-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest, but all the other routes are relatively delay-free at this hour.
Okay, Ken, thank you. A man is hurt this morning and another is in police custody after an early morning shooting downtown. The WRAL breaking news tracker was near the Moore Square bus station that happened around 2:30 this morning. Police say the man who was shot is expected to recover. And a crash overnight left a car on its side in Raleigh. This happened around 2 a.m. on Glenwood Avenue near Wills Forest Road. Raleigh police say the driver crashed into a tree and the car flipped onto its side. The road was closed as officers investigated. Right now, we're working to learn whether anyone was hurt.
Also, lower power being restored to hundreds of homes in southeast Raleigh this morning. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on Newbern Avenue at Raleigh Boulevard around 3 this morning. The road was dark and traffic lights were out. Duke Energy's outage map indicates falling tree limbs caused that outage. Well, also following some breaking news right now. A transmission tower damaged in Harnett County after a car crashed into it overnight, leaving now hundreds of homes without power. This tower is along Red Hill Church Road near Irwin, Access Road in Irwin. That's just north of Highway 421. Let's bring in Ali Katlabar. She's live at that scene in the WRAL breaking news tracker. And Ali, crews are now working to restore power once again after dealing with some mechanical issues.
Yeah, it looks like they've got those mechanical issues sorted up, and now they are working to, I guess, take down this transmission tower here. We can see a crew up in a bucket. We can also see a very large crane holding that tower in place. We, of course, are keeping an eye on this as they are plan to take down the transmission tower, and they tell me that they plan to replace it with a temporary power pole and then connect the lines to it. I do want to add that crews tell me a car crashed into this transmission tower around 9 last night. They say that that driver was not injured, and I did just speak with the driver. He came by to pick up his car. He says he did get a ticket. He was not facing any charges. Again, he was not hurt. He tells me that the storms caused him not to be able to see the road, and then he crashed into the tower. Now, of course, we are working to get some more information from State Highway Patrol on that. We do know that some of the town of Irwin, some of them their power has been restored, but others, about 800 customers are still without power. That estimated restoration time is 10:45. Of course, we are keeping an eye on this. We are keeping you updated. Reporting live in Harnett County, Ali Katlabar, WRAL News.
Raleigh police are investigating reports of shots fired at an apartment complex. This is video from that scene at around midnight at Litchford Apartments. That's near Litchford Road and Old Wake Forest Road. You can see several police cars and evidence markers in that parking lot. Police say no one was hurt and no arrests have been made.
A man was shot in Durham last night. This was the scene at the Avon Crossings Apartments. This is 411 last night. This is just off MLK Jr. Parkway. Police say no arrests so far in this case. We're working to get information about the victim's condition.
This morning, questions about structural deficiencies at 3 Wake County elementary schools now. This could force the start of the school year to be delayed for those students. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is outside Davis Drive Elementary in Cary this morning. And Kelsey, the school board is now looking to take emergency action to address this.
Yes, Laura, that's exactly what school leaders are considering this morning. We could find out the next steps for 3 different elementary schools here in Wake County. Engineers found problems with connections to, or rather between walls and other parts of the building at Creech Road Elementary, according to a letter sent to parents. Durant Road and Davis Drive Elementary schools have the same building plan. The most urgent issues are at Durant Road. Those students are scheduled to return to class in 2 weeks. Multiple Durant Road staff members who declined to go on camera tell WRAL the building has had consistent leaks, roofing problems, and HVAC issues for years. WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst says some North Carolina schools have had delayed starts in the past due to safety concerns.
A couple of years ago, Alamance Burlington schools, several schools were unable to open on time because of mold issues that had spread throughout the schools during the summer. So it's not completely unheard of for some kind of safety issue to prevent a school from opening on time. It's still pretty rare.
We'll be sure to keep you updated on what school leaders decide during that emergency meeting that's scheduled for this morning at 10. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
And we will have full coverage of what happens today and what the plan is for the start of the school year. You can follow along on the WRAL News app and in our evening newscast starting at 4 p.m.
The DMV office in East Durham will reopen today after it closed last month for bed bug infestation. The office in South Miami Boulevard closed more than 2 weeks ago. DMV officials say a customer came into the office with bed bugs. Another customer told staff about the exposure. DMV officials says the building was re-inspected last week and they got the all clear to reopen.
Flags are flying at half-staff today here at the White House, as you can take a live look and see. It's in honor of U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham. Graham died Saturday night shortly after returning from a trip to Ukraine. A preliminary finding by the medical examiner shows the 71-year-old died after his aorta ruptured because of hardened arteries. Graham served as a senator from South Carolina for more than 20 years. He was a key figure in the Republican Party and one of President Trump's closest allies.
Members of our congressional delegation from North Carolina are remembering Senator Graham and paying tribute to him. Senator Tom Till is writing, Lindsey was a lifelong public servant, a tireless champion for South Carolina, and an outspoken advocate for America's role in protecting freedom throughout the world. And Representative David Roser said, it's a hard time to imagine Congress without Lindsey Graham. He will be sorely missed.
So a special Republican primary is set for next month in South Carolina to replace Graham in the Senate. Congresswoman Nancy Mace says that she is strongly considering running. Mace ran for governor of South Carolina this year. She failed to make it to the runoff in the Republican primary. We have much more about Senator Lindsey Graham's death on our YouTube page. That includes messages from President Trump and more on Graham's congressional colleagues. WRAL state government reporter Caroline Yaffa also shares stories about her time covering Graham while she was a reporter in South Carolina.
Just want to get you caught up on this news that we're hearing from the UK leadership right now in the feeds. They're saying that an Iranian-backed group is behind a series of attacks on the Jewish community over there. What you're seeing here is an image of what appears to be 4 ambulances in North London that were actually attacked in an arson fire. You see the damage is pretty extensive. The government says it is banning the what's called Islamic Movement of the Companions of the Right, also known as IMCR, and Iran's Revolutionary Guard. The security minister for the UK said the IMCR claimed 7 attacks in the UK, including fires at synagogues and charity ambulances like the ones you see here on your screen.
40 now, coming up, remembering Sam Neill, the Jurassic Park actor, died at the age of 78. We look back at the legacy he leaves behind.
Plus, Bluetooth speaker showdown, testing the best portable speakers meant to withstand splashes, sand, and travel. 5 on your side shares the top picks that won't break the bank.
And we'll start out with some light rain this morning as we give you a live look at Chapel Hill, showing you the overall radar trends over the past 30 to 60 minutes and where we see the best chance of afternoon storms. It's coming your way in less than 10 minutes. .44 we're looking live in Franklinton, where we've seen hours worth of rain, but thankfully the flood advisory that was in effect for Franklin County is no longer. Just some light rain showers have now really focused their attention on Nash, Edgecombe, Halifax counties, southern Warren counties, south of Littleton and Warrenton, and a few showers north toward Henderson. As we kind of back up the view, you see a few light rain showers heading toward Durham, but nothing that's causing any major issues. There's no flooding as opposed to what we saw last night. A few stray showers right around Anger. Again, those are just sprinkles, nothing doing there. But those the sprinkly kind of weather, the northeast breeze, that's going to keep us a lot cooler today. High temperatures in the upper 70s. How long it's been since we've been that cool and why we're making a run at the upper 90s in just a few days. Coming up, Ken.
All right, Chris, we're picking up some heavy congestion on I-40 east and westbound between Wade Avenue and I-540. As far as the westbound lane, here's the problem. There's a crash blocking the shoulder of the road on I-40 westbound near Harrison Avenue. You can see the huge delays it's causing there on those I-40 westbound lanes. Here's what it looks like, I-40 and Harrison Avenue. You can't see the crash, but you can see the delays it's causing. Also, those eastbound lanes, we're picking up those heavy congestion as we look live at I-40 and Airport Boulevard. I checked the sensors. You're looking at about a 10-minute delay in both directions there on I-40.
Ken, thank you. Breaking news this morning, Sam Neill, the actor best known for his role in the Jurassic Park movies, has died. Neill, who was from New Zealand, died at a hospital in Australia. His death comes just months after he was announced he was cancer-free following 5 years of treatment for blood cancer. He found international fame for his portrayal of Dr. Alan Grant in the Jurassic Park franchise. He was 78.
Special education services still are not adequate in North Carolina's public schools. That's according to a new federal report. The U.S. Department of Education labeling the state's special education program as, quote, in need of federal assistance. This was a number of things, including not evaluating students on time. The State Department of Public Instruction says school districts are struggling to hire and keep qualified special education teachers. That means there aren't enough people to stay on top of the requirements. You can find out more about how the state and school districts like Wake County did at the education section of WRAL.com.
Well, if you drive in southeast Wake County, you should expect a detour starting today. East Garner Road will close between Auburn-Nidell Road and Rockoy Road as part of the Complete 540 Phase 2 project. The closure is expected to last about 45 days, and a signed detour will be in place.
All right, whether you're at the beach or the pool or hosting a backyard cookout, having the right portable speaker makes a huge difference. Consumer Reports recently tested the best ones meant for splashes, sand, and travel. 5 on your side's Ashley Rose shares the top picks that won't break the bank.
Whether it's music, podcasts, or your favorite beach day mix, Consumer Reports says the best portable speakers combine good sound with durability and easy portability.
These speakers were selected because they are relatively small, fun, and can hold up to some exposure to elements such as dust and water.
Many of these speakers are designed with rugged, water-resistant exteriors that can handle pool days, beach trips, and life on the go. One standout, the Sony ULT Field 5. Consumer Reports says it delivers plenty of volume and strong bass. Several recommended models also feature compact cylindrical designs that slide easily into backpacks and even water bottle packets, like the Bose SoundLink Flex and the JBL Flip 7. Another strong option is the Ultimate Ears Megaboom 3. It earns solid scores across the board, and Consumer Reports says it's powerful enough to fill a medium to large room with sound. And for something even smaller, more friendly with the budget, there's the JBL Clip 5. Its sound quality falls short of the others, but CR testers say it works well for casual listening and podcasts. Plus,
it has a built-in carabiner that allows you to hook it on to just about anything that has a loop or a latch, so it's great for taking it on the go.
And keep in mind, most Bluetooth speakers work best when your phone or other music source stays within about 30 feet. Beyond that range, the signal can start to cut out. Ashley Rowe, I'm on your side.
Does the drought have an impact on the extreme heat? Well, you may have found yourself wondering the same thing during our triple-digit multi-day stretch over July 4th, combined with the lack of rain this year. Well, tonight on WRAL News at 6, meteorologist Kat Campbell answers this question and shows you the impact the historic drought has had and has on how high the temperatures go. It's a special anniversary for the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, and a new take on Moana's debuts in theaters. Here's a look at what's trending this morning. The live-action Moana was at the top of the box office in its opening weekend. The movie is a retelling of the hit 2016 animated film. Now, combined, it made $95 million globally, but the film, though, underperformed compared to its $250 million budget and previous Disney live-action remakes.
Yeah, Minions and Monsters and Toy Story 5 finished at second and third in the weekend box office.
Yeah, but it's still early.
It's still early.
A lot of people are doing a lot of things, so.
Yeah. Well, today is a special day in FIFA World Cup history. On July 13th, 1930, the very first World Cup got started. There were 13 teams competing in the tournament, and Uruguay hosted the championship trophy that year after beating Argentina in the championship game.
Yeah, and 48 teams actually competed this year.
Wow.
Uruguay hoisted the championship trophy that year after beating Argentina in the championship game. And of course, Argentina is back in the semifinals, or the Final Four, if you will. So it's really cool watching these archives videos.
96 years later.
Incredible.
All right, well, the 2026 World Cup semifinals get started tomorrow on Fox 50 with a match between France and Spain. And on Wednesday, it's England against Argentina. Both of those games will kick off at 3 p.m. The winners will play each other in the final. That's on Sunday on Fox 50.
We're here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with meteorologist Chris Michaels, and tell you when that rain started coming down, I snuck out on the front porch where we have like a tin roof.
Oh, man.
Rain coming down.
Yeah.
Good sleeping
There's
weather.
something soothing about that for
love
sure.
that. And we love the rain.
Yeah, and we needed it, and soothing for the most part. Some parts of the areas where it went like a little too far, like Zebulon, we had a road closure yesterday on Pippin Road. This is video from that, from the WRAL breaking news tracker. This was brief, but it was one of the areas that was under a severe thunderstorm warning just last night. We'll give you a live look at Durham, though, this morning, and you can see the clouds rolling in, some light showers pushing into Durham, and you see that just toward the southern end of the city. A few showers around Henderson, moving east of Oxford right now. We'll broaden out the view to other parts of the area, including places like Nashville, just west of Rocky Mount toward Red Oak. Areas like Enfield had been dealing with some light rain. It's just very patchy now as we go through the very late morning hours. Still maybe a few showers around Cary, Morrisville, and Apex, and a few sprinkles from Anger trying to weasel their way down toward Lillington. Nothing that's going to go causing any major issues. In fact, if you've been watching since yesterday, we talked about how, midday, we'd see a little bit of a lull in the action, maybe about 30% of the area dealing with storms. Beyond 3 p.m. or so, anything you see is very scattered, mostly near and to the south of the triangle. And as we head into the evening, the general trend will be for storms to be farther south. So I do think that tonight is going to be a better night's sleep, at least weather-wise, compared to what we had out there last night. But in the meantime, it is going to be significantly cooler. High temperatures today only in the upper 70s. And I say only because that's our coolest day since June the 2nd. A northeast breeze really going to help to keep the overcast kind of locked in. In the meantime, don't expect that lasting too much longer. We'll go from the 60s tomorrow morning to 80s by the afternoon. There's nothing earth-shattering about that, nor is there anything crazy about Wednesday. But the heat does start to intensify as we get toward Thursday and Friday. We'll start with morning lows in the mid-70s. We'll see afternoon high temperatures in the upper 90s. A lot of that has to do with this area of high pressure. It's going to be centered over the central and eastern U.S. Storm system over states like Maine. So in between the two, there's a pretty active storm track. Stays mostly to our north as we head into Friday. But as we settle into the weekend, that's when we may start to see that pattern buckle down a little bit and showers and storms coming through. We'll be right back in a few minutes.